Hello everybody, my name is Michael Hennessey and I'm the pastor of Cornerstone Church here at Epping, Sydney, and the motto of our church is we want to help people get where they need to go to in God. We're a junction church. We help people get to where they need to go to in God. Now, last week I started a series called Crossing the Jordan, and it was basically all about how people have to make sometimes big decisions and in their lives, moving from one chapter of their lives to another chapter, to a new chapter. And we looked at the example of Moses in the Old Testament, how Moses was about to cross the Jordan River. God had told him to cross over the river to the other side, and how Moses, Joshua was planning to do that. And we all have our own crossing the Jordan moments. I know that. I've had a couple in my life. I'm sure you have as well. And the question I think we all need to ask ourselves is, how do you gather the courage to make that step to the next phase of it, to the next chapter of your life, to the next phase of your life? You know, when you do choose to cross over the Jordan, a lot of good is waiting for you on the other side. But often a lot of people, they choose to stay where they are and they choose not to cross over, and they rob themselves of a lot of really good things, of a lot of good experiences and growth. And I think one of the ways in which we can gather courage and make that step from the old into the new, and by crossing our particular Jordan, is recognise this particular fact. And that fact is this: that crossing over involves recognising our past. Now, in Joshua chapter 1 verse 1, it says, I read this last week, but I'll read it again. And it happened after the death of Moses, the servant of Jehovah. Jehovah spoke to Joshua, the son of Nun. Now get this: Moses' minister, saying, my servant Moses is dead. Interesting verse. And as I was reading that, and I got a bit of a revelation, for want of a better word. And the revelation was this: that Joshua was Moses' minister. Joshua was Moses' offsider, and he helped, and he saw Moses close up as to how Moses ran the nation and led the nation of Israel. Now it was Joshua's turn. Joshua had to realize that his time with Moses had prepared him. His time as Moses' minister, as Moses' servant, had prepared him to now be the leader who was going to take over from his old boss, Moses. And I think a lot of us have to realize that too, that what we've done in our past is not a waste. A lot of people, just relate to their past as something that either they're ashamed of or isn't really relevant for what they're doing now. That nothing could be further from the truth. Let me just say this to you, that nothing is wasted in God's economy, nothing. And everything that you've done in your past has prepared you for this moment where you have to cross over from the old into the new and cross over your particular Jordan River. Moses discovered that, and I'm sure you will discover that too if you just recognize that your past has prepared you for your future. I mean, I want to just share just a quick personal testimony. Forgive me as I just get myself comfortable in my chair. But I remember I had coffee with a pastor once, and we were just shooting the breeze as people tend to do when they're having a cup of coffee, and we were talking for about an hour. And this guy said to me, Michael, everything that you did when you were overseas as a missionary in the nation of Estonia has prepared you for being senior pastor of a church here in Australia now. And I really couldn't work out what he was talking about, because it seemed that what I'd done in Estonia was so different in comparison to what I'm doing now as senior pastor of a local church here in Australia. I mean, I was pastoring a little church in a country village in Toowoomba, but it was quite small and didn't think that had much relevance to what I'm doing now in Australia. And also too, I was teaching at a national Bible college, teaching English and missions and theology and a few other different things, and I was also the missions coordinator of our movement over there, the Estonian Christian Pentecostal Church. And they were all good things that I did. But looking back and just realizing what this man said to me over that fateful cup of coffee just almost a year ago, this man was right. What I'd done in my past, even though it was in a country 12,000 miles away with a totally different language and culture, everything else, but it had actually prepared me for what I'm doing today here in my home church at Cornerstone. And that realization actually helped me to understand that yes, my past has helped me prepare me for my present. And you've got to realize that too. And when God puts an opportunity in front of you, when God puts a challenge in front of you, you've got to realize that you are more than up to the task, because your past has prepared you for your present. I really hope you get that inside your spirit. That principle is repeated quite a lot in Scripture. I won't go into that now, but just remember, if you're experiencing your own crossing the Jordan moment, then just remember, amen. Your past has prepared you for this moment. So pluck up the courage and put your feet in the water. God bless you. See you. Bye.